Radha and Aarav's unfinished love story, the first meeting. On the banks of Banaras, where the Ganges flows, where stories are born on every god and some end right there. Among those stories was one of Radha and Aarav. Radha was a student at Banaras Hindu University, pursuing an MA in the arts faculty. Literature was her love, and writing poetry by the river was her habit. Her face was like a Banarasi evening, calm, beautiful, and somewhat saddened. Aarav was from Delhi, studying photography, and had come to Banaras for his project, Banaras, Between Life and Death. When he first saw Radha in the crowd at the Ghats, his fingers automatically clicked his camera. Radha heard the sound of the camera and turned back. Quite a beautiful sight, Aarav smiled. The view, or the subject of the view? Radha asked. Both. Aarav grinned awkwardly. That wasn't their first conversation. It was an introduction made more by silence than words. Their meetings at the Ghat increased. Conversations at tea stalls, sitting at a sea Ghat in the evenings, exchanging books. Slowly, they began to weave into each other's lives. Do you love Banaras? Radha asked one evening. I do now, since I met you, Aarav replied. Radha laughed, but there was a tension in her laughter that kept pulling her back. One day, Aarav asked, why is there so much pain in your poems? Radha didn't answer. She just looked at the Ganges as if every answer was there. This story slowly delves into depth, where there is love, struggle, societal chains, and eventually a decision that changes both their lives forever. In the lanes of Banaras, the color of love was deepening, but like every lane reaches a halt at some point, so did Radha and Aarav's story, at a juncture where proceeding wasn't so simple. Radha's home was in the old neighborhood of Dalmandi in Banaras, an ancient mansion with doors lined with the boundaries of customs. Her father, Vishnukant Tripathi, was a stern, orthodox, and traditional scholar of Sanskrit. Radha hadn't spoken about Aarav until now, but gradually, the thoughts of her heart began to spill from her eyes. One day, her mother asked, Radha, whose change of colors is shining on your face? Radha remained silent, but her mother knew. That same night, Radha was summoned before her father. You meet a boy? The voice was stern. Yes, I do, but Radha's voice wavered. Enough. You would forsake our family pride for a photographer boy. Her father's eyes were burning like embers. Radha said nothing, just went to her room. The next day, Radha didn't come to the Ghat. 3 days passed. Aarav searched frantically at the university, Ghats, library. He went everywhere. On the 4th day, Radha came silently. Aarav angrily asked, Where were you, Radha? Imprisoned in my mind, she said tiredly. Our love cannot set me free, Aarav. I will free you. Marry me, Aarav said directly. Radha was startled. Aarav, my father will kill us. He's so strict he's considering stopping my studies. Aarav held her hand. I'll let you study, let you fly. Just let me walk with you. Radha's eyes overflowed. For the first time, she let her tears fall on Aarav's palm. Home to Delhi. His father clearly stated, if you marry that girl, don't come back home. Now, their paths were filled not with love, but struggles. One night, Radha handed a letter to Aarav. Her handwriting shook. Dear Aarav, your presence is the most beautiful poetry of my life. But my reality wishes to burn this poetry. I could elope with you, but I cannot give tears to my mother. Perhaps in another life, perhaps in another realm, we will be together. Yours, Radha. That night, Aarav wept deeply. 5 years later, reunion at a literature festival in Delhi. Radha's book, Poetry of Bonds, received an award. In a corner, Aarav stood too, now a renowned photographer. 5 years later, evenings in Banaras hadn't changed much. The Ghats of the Ganges remained, but Radha and Aarav's lives were flowing in 2 different directions. One stagnant, the other free-flowing. Aarav had become one of Delhi's renowned photojournalists. Awards, exhibitions, and travels had become part of his life. Yet, a part of his heart was still seated on the steps of the god, where Radha was first captured in the lens. One day, he told his assistant, "I'm going back to Banaras for one last photo." His camera still searched for Radha, a silent image, a smiling face, and those eyes filled with poetry. Radha had become a well-known writer, residing in Banaras, not in the old neighborhood, but a small apartment, alone. She had remained unmarried. Several relationships came, but her heart couldn't settle. Her mother still lived there, now engulfed in illness. Her father had softened, yet became silent upon hearing Aarav's name. For Radha, writing was her prayer. In every line, she lived Aarav and lost him in every verse. Radha was invited for the launch of her new novel, The Unfinished Riverbank, at the Ravidas Book Fair in Banaras. Coincidentally, Aarav's exhibition, Searching Shadows, was held at the same fair. Stall numbers 17 and 18, directly facing each other. As soon as Aarav saw the poster for The Unfinished Riverbank, he stopped in his tracks. In that moment, he set out towards stall 18. Radha was standing in front of the mic, reading selective lines from her novel. "I could never have him, but never lost him either. He's that song of my life, that is incomplete yet whole." Aarav's eyes filled with tears. As Radha stepped away from the mic and looked down, Aarav was standing right in front of her. 5 years of silence shattered in a single instant. Sitting in a corner, sipping tea, they quietly observed one another. "Do you still write poems?" Aarav asked. "Do you still lose yourself in photographs?" Radha retorted. Then both laughed. "Is this a reunion?" Aarav asked. "Perhaps not. It's the other riverbank of our story," Radha smiled. "And if we choose, can this riverbank turn into a bridge?" he asked softly. Radha remained silent, then said, "We're not the same as we were 5 years ago. But if our shadows still seek each other, then maybe..." The next morning at a sea ghat, Radha and Aarav sat together, quietly. No promises, no conditions. Just silence and the flowing river. Aarav picked up the camera and said, "I want to take a new picture of you." Radha asked, "Under which title this time?" "Complete Love," Aarav smiled. Radha accepted this for the first time, seeing herself in Aarav's lens, wholeheartedly.